Hey everybody, and welcome to Outdoor Adventures Live. What are we on now? 14, 15? This is awesome. I love doing these every month for you guys. But anyway, for anyone new, this is a place where you can talk about anything backpacking, camping, hiking, and really whatever you want at this point. So, a couple things before we get started. To be notified for future videos and pretty much when I go live in the future, next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. If you click that bell icon, you will be notified for all future videos and when I go live. So anyway, a couple things before we start as well. I recently released a trailer video, kind of like an announcement, that there is going to be a huge meetup at Mohican State Park. That is going to be this Saturday, October 6th through the 7th. We'll probably leave Sunday around noon. Probably going to be doing a hike Saturday morning with Meerkat, provided my foot that I actually injured on the Black Forest Trail, which that video is coming out tomorrow. It was a 42-mile challenge hike. It was really, really fun. We did complete it. I think it's an awesome video, so be sure to check that out tomorrow at 8. But I'm probably going to be doing some hiking. A couple vendors are going to be there. Dream Hammock and Light AF is going to be there. Light AF is actually going to be bringing some packs and some other gear that he's a cottage vendor, so some of the gear that he's made for his company, he's going to be letting everybody take a look at it and seeing what they're all about. So hopefully I can snag a pack from him for the day and give it a good try, because I'm actually really interested in one of his curved backpacks. So anyway, let's get down to the questions. And first of all, hello, and welcome. Anybody have any trips planned coming up? I know myself, I have 3 trips planned before December, so I need to get on that. I need to get this foot healed up. It's almost there. I twisted it really, really bad on the Black Forest Trail, and just the top of the foot is killing me right now. So anyway, on a little bit of ice and ibuprofen right now. But anyway, let's say big hi to Grumpy, who's actually hiking the Appalachian Trail right now. He's in Stanimals in Waynesboro. So that's awesome. Grumpy, keep on going, bro. Loving the videos. Anyway, diving into the questions here. And let me just turn down the audio just a tad, because I noticed the mic is clipping, so hopefully that's a little better for you. Let's see. Worst Manatee. Hey, welcome back, Worst Manatee. Have you ever thought about making a recommended audiobook list? Not only do I watch you for recommended trails, but I have liked quite a few of the books you listen to as well. That's actually a really good question. I was kind of kicking around that idea the past couple months, because I'm getting up there in the audiobook collection, and honestly, this is a hiking channel, obviously, but if I come across a really good audiobook, I will mention it in, the hiking video. So everything that I've mentioned is what I really, really highly recommend. I don't listen to any audiobooks off trail. They're just saved for on trail, and sometimes when I'm driving down or back from the trailhead. So keep that in mind. My favorite audiobook right now is still Ready Player One. I kind of enjoyed the movie. It didn't really stick to the book at all, but it's definitely worth the watch. Second is Demon. Demon's been awesome, and I'm currently listening to the sequel, which is called Freedom by Daniel Suarez. Hey, Jason Hellman Dollar, what's up, bro? I'll see you in a couple days here, actually. I'm still waiting for the video about your new food list. Yeah. I have a problem. I might need to start releasing 2 videos a week to get all the videos I want out before the Appalachian Trail, which starts in, 144 days, I believe. That's what we're down to. It's coming up quick. I need to still finish the beginner hammock camping series, and just so many topics that I want to go over before I actually hit the AT. And I have AT videos that I want to put out before I go on the trail too. Food videos in the works. I'm just trying to get some things together, make some notes, show a couple things on how I cook certain things on the trail, like the north sides would be a great addition. Ramen bombs, I've gotten video requests for how to do that, even though I've gone into it quite in depth on the hiking trips. But yeah, all that stuff is in the works. I also need to get my 2018 gearless video out before I start working on the AT gear, because it's going to be really different as well. Anyway, all those videos and more are coming. Like I said, I might need to start releasing them twice a week compared to just every Wednesday. Okay, Kelly. Hey, Frozen, do you need a permit to do the through hike on the AT? So from what I've been reading, there are two specific areas that you are required to submit a permit for. One is paid and one is free. The free one is through the Shenandoahs. So it's just kind of, you get to the trailhead register, you fill out your registration, and you put it back in at the end of the Shenandoahs. The other one, which is a little more, not complicated, but more involved, is the Great Smoky Mountains permit. You are required to register. I think it's, I want to say 2 months. You can register and still have 2 months to get, or no, it's probably not that. It's probably like a month to get through the Smokies. So I'm going to actually fill that permit out. It is a paid permit, but I can tell why they need to do it. It's one of the more dangerous areas on the Appalachian Trail, and since most people start, March 1st, it's becoming February 25th is the normal start date for people these days. You do have to register for your Smokies, and you have to stay in the shelters if there's room. So that poses a problem for me where I'm bringing Hammock. So during that section, I will be carrying a sleeping pad along with my hammock and my underquilt, and then I'll ship it home after I get through there. So yeah, Shenandoahs and the Smokies. I've heard rumors of a third permit, but I can't find any information about it. So I'm not sure where that third permit is or if it even exists. And I've watched a lot of AT through hike videos and no one's really ever mentioned it. Let's see. Hey, CG, what's going on, man? Oh, I guess I'll see you after work. Okay. Melissa, I didn't stop to see you at work today because you looked like you were really having fun and I didn't want to take away from your fun. Hey, Adam Z, what's going on? Let's see. Doggerty dog. I'm not even going to try. Okay, what's your favorite top 3 and what are you taking on the AT? So we'll probably go into a more in-depth video when I start releasing the what gear I'm taking on the Appalachian Trail. I'd say top 3 at this point is going to be my hammock. It's going to be probably my backpack, which is going to be the Z-Packs Arc Haul, and probably my top quilt, my new hammock gear. I got a 20 degree to start with, and then my 40 degree, was it an incubator or burrow? I'm still unsure which one's which, but the top quilt from Hammock Gear. Really like it. I got it in a short, perfect size. Let's see, 73 Wild, and hi Danette, how are you? Where do you live in PA? I'm in Waynesboro, PA near the AT. Just finished watching Grumpy's latest video. I'm in Pittsburgh, pretty close to the airport, in case anybody's wondering. I think for the most part people are aware of that because I'm always waiting for the planes and I always kind of mention it in the bloopers whenever I have some videos. Leonardo, I'm about to do my first hike in 20 years. That's awesome. Doing first 30 miles of the Laurel Highlands Trail. That's awesome. Have a great time. Victor Kaiser, and I think welcome back. I think I've seen you in here too. I've seen a lot of you in here. I appreciate the support coming back in here. I really enjoy doing these QAs for people. They're a lot of fun. Boots or stick with trail runners for Rocky Desert Big Bend hike in Texas? I'd always say trail runners. I don't know. Even in the snow, I'm rocking trail runners. They're just so much easier on my feet. I can't even put my foot in a foot. I can't talk tonight. Ever. I really can't ever talk in these QAs. I don't know why. I really can't put my foot in a boot anymore. It's just not comfortable just wearing, basically sneakers the whole time. So, Carlson Adventures, can you give the name of the parking lot, trailhead, name of where I should park to get to campsite 3 at Mohican this weekend? Check out the announcement video for the meetup. In the description box, I have the GPS coordinates you're going to want to use. Throw them in Google Maps. It should take you right to the trailhead. It's actually a bridle trailhead, so it's pretty big. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to walk toward the same side that you park. So don't cross the road again. So from the parking lot, walk straight back through the parking lot. Do not cross the road. You'll cross a little stream down the trail. It's pretty easy to get to. The water shouldn't be that deep, and it's right after that stream. Make a left. You should see about 17 YouTubers there, so you probably won't be able to miss us. Hey, welcome back, All Things Outdoors. Okay, where are we? Okay. Hey there, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Awesome, awesome. Any wagers about if you start the Appalachian Trail first or Gary finished posting his trip? Yeah, man. So Gary has fallen back into World of Warcraft, and he's probably going to kill me for mentioning that in this QA. But yeah, he is just so focused on the new expansion, I guess. I don't know. I used to play it back when I was like 22, fell out of it real quick. But yeah, he's getting there. I'm assuming he'll be done by the end of the year. I don't know. He said he was going to post every night or every day, one video a day, and we know how that goes. But hey, at least he's still posting it. I can't wait to see the end of his adventure. Navy Mom, 1954. Bear canister or not on the entire AT? There are certain sections that you are required to use a bear canister. The simple way around that is just to hike past those sections. You need a bear canister at night. I'm just hiking past those sections. So I do not plan on bringing a bear canister at all if I can help it. I don't want to carry that extra weight. I don't want to have that extra bulk. I wouldn't carry it unless it was absolutely required for where I'm going to be. And it's just not. You can get past it. Kevin Simones, welcome back. Dream hammock lineup versus Dutchware Chameleon. I broke my dream hammock on the JMT. And you know what? I want to hear more about this. I know that you went to ground on the last couple days, and I think you said you borrowed a whole bunch of people's sit pads at the end of that, and you kind of got through it. I keep commenting on this, or comment on this live QA, and let me know what broke. Did the suspension break? Did the fabric rip? I'm still not clear on how that broke. But I've never laid in a Dutchware Chameleon. I have a Dutchware 11 and a 10-foot netless hammock, and they lay perfectly fine. I don't know. For whatever reason, I like the fabric material better on the Warbonnet Traveler, which is also a netless hammock. Similar to the Blackbird. In fact, it's the same exact thing without the pullouts, the shelf, and the foot box, and the bug nets. Well, basically it's the same fabric and the design, the bottom design. So I don't know. I have no problems with my dream hammock since I got rid of the 0.67 bug netting and went to the 0.8 stock. So can't really comment. Kevin Schill from SB Outdoors, he actually went from a Chameleon to a wide dream hammock Darien, and that's an 11-foot. So you might want to see his thoughts. I'm sure he'll do a comparison video in the near future. You just give him a couple more nights to hang in it. Leonardo, can you do a cooking on the trail video? I don't necessarily cook on the trail. I basically just put boiling water in whatever I'm going to eat and just eat it. But I think it would be beneficial to talk about making things, like I said earlier in this QA, about the ramen bomb, which is ridiculously good if you haven't tried it yet. The north sides, how to cook the north sides. I got a couple comments on, asking me how much water do you use. I'm gonna have a video on that, probably in a more advanced topic compared to the beginner backpacking food videos, where I was trying to get people started with easy food suggestions. We'll go into a little more depth with the north sides and the ramen bombs and some other things that I've eaten on the trail that people think are disgusting but are actually really good, like the peanut butter and pepperoni tortilla wrap, which is, man, that's good. So yes, we'll get into that. David Schmood, when is the next beginner hammock video coming out? Okay, so let's see. I want to make a video about knots first, so that'll be the next one. I don't know if it's coming out within 2 weeks, but I will get it out before the end of the month. So we'll see let's see. Let me make sure I'm telling you guys the truth. Yes, we'll see 2 more beginner hammock camping videos before the end of this month. And like I said, I need to release 2 a week, I think, just to get all my ideas out there. Because I'm sure when I get back from the AT, I'm going to have a ton of more ideas too. So they're coming. Tomorrow is the Black Forest Trail video. The following week is more than likely the meetup video. Maybe the knot video, we'll see. But I definitely need to get the knot video out before we go any further with that, because there's just certain knots that I think every hammock camper should know before they even set out. Even if you're using Dutchware, sometimes stuff can break, and the worst thing in the world would be not to know how to tie your hammock to a tree if your cinch buckle breaks. So we're going to get into it. Where the heck am I? Okay. Sorry, my chat window's bouncing up and down already. Don't forget to remind everyone to come hang out this weekend. Yeah, like I said, check out that meetup video. All of the information is in the description box of that video. Woohoo! Hey, Frozen. Oh, by the way, everybody, woo buddy. I forgot I was wearing this shirt tonight. I really hope everybody comes out to the meetup. We're gonna have plenty of room. We're actually gonna be reserving sites 1, 2, and 3 just to have enough room. Now, you might not be able to stay with all the YouTubers, but definitely come hang out, during the day. I know there's some certain camping restrictions. We got to keep it under like 25 people per campsite, but we should have plenty of room. I think Restless Outdoors said he's going up Thursday to reserve the other 2 campsites, and they're relatively close to site 3. So if you're worried about getting a site, don't. There should be plenty room. Hello from New York, Green Trail. I want to see you on the AT. Believe me, I want to see me on the AT as well. Hey, Dwayne, what's going on, man? Hope you all have a great time this weekend. Don't have too much Fred, and keep Newbold out of trouble working fire suppression at the fair this weekend, making the extra bucks for more gear and a trip. Awesome, Dwayne. Well, sucks we can't see you, but I know that's a long drive for you coming up from Georgia. So, Carlson Adventures, you're coming too? That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, Bigfoot Farmer. Yeah, I'm almost healed. I can at least walk correctly now. I was gimpy for the past week since that. Man, that trip, those acorns specifically killed me. Yeah, the ankle's fine. It's more the top of the foot that's a little sore. I think there's a word for it. Extensor tendonitis. I don't know, something stupid. Anyway, it's good. I think another couple days and I'll be perfectly fine. I'll be back in it. Patrick Collins. I took my first backpacking trip this past weekend to the Linville Gorge. Awesome. Thanks for your beginner videos, as they helped immensely. I hope you had a great time and got some good weather, man. Hey, Up Trail. Hi, Jason. With the colder temps up north in our area, Mohican's 80-degree temps for this weekend is getting tempting. Yeah. We are supposed to get rain on Saturday night, but it's only like 50% chance. And usually when they say that, they really have no idea. I'm sure maybe someone will bring a tarp. I'm sure one of us will have an extra tarp. So we'll see. Maybe I'll bring my old Eno tarp and we'll string that thing up. Tony Martins, want to get to the Linville Gorge. Son has done it and loved it. Yeah, it's an amazing trip. Amazing trip. Jogbird, don't audiobooks take away from being out in nature and nature sounds? They do, and I usually don't listen to them while I'm hiking. I like to listen to some music toward the end of the day maybe, or in the morning, to get me kind of motivated, get my adrenaline going. But for me, I sometimes have a hard time falling asleep at night for whatever reason. I don't sleep well here either. But listening to an audiobook for me has basically been a sleep aid without taking drugs for it. And sometimes I'm out in like 5-10 minutes, which is why audiobooks take me so long. But yeah, I do agree. They do take you out of nature a little bit. And I never have both earbuds in. I always have just one in, and then the other ear is completely open so I can be aware of my surroundings. So keep that in mind. But for me, like I said, it's just a sleep aid. And it's been working out great. It's better than, taking an actual pill to fall asleep. Let's see. Hopefully you can make it this weekend, Up Trail. Yeah, I hope Up Trail Upshaw's coming from Upper Peninsula, Michigan, so he has quite a long drive. I think it's only like a 3-hour, maybe a 4-hour drive for me, so it's not too bad. Good budget tarp that's still kind of light. Yeah, the look on Mastrap, my God. Look on Mass Drop. If you aren't familiar with that, it's a place where people kind of sign up for an item. So you get a whole bulk of people, a whole big group of people ordering the same product so they can sell it at a discount. A lot of times I've seen this tarp for $20 called the Kelty Noah. Now it's pretty cheap by itself, but if you can get it on Mastrop for 20 bucks, it has ample coverage. It will be fine for 10-foot hammock. I don't know about an 11. I'm not sure the dimensions off the top of my head, but definitely check that tarp up. It doesn't really weigh that much. It's a really nice tarp. A lot of people use it. I've seen it out in the backwoods as well, and it's always on Mastrop. You know, give it every couple weeks. It's usually on there. So check that one out. And check out UGQ too. They make some pretty good silk poly tarps as well. Nick Dean, I'll be attempting a hike of the FHT, 77 miles over 4 days in mid to late October. With high mileage days, I'll be trying out my hammock setup. Thanks for passing along your tips and tricks. You are very welcome, and have a great time on that. Cool Fire. Man, my eyes are getting dry. Holy cow. Anyway, Cool Fire. What do you do at camp to occupy your time if you get there early and have downtime? So you guys know me. Most of the time I hike most of the day, and I get to camp somewhere around 5, 6 o'clock. So I don't have too much downtime by the time I eat and do my camp chores. But like we talked about before, I sometimes listen to audiobooks, and that definitely fills in the gap. I mean, you can get lost in audiobooks, sometimes hours and hours just listening to a book, and all of a sudden it's 10, 11 o'clock. So that's what I do. Really, I just kind of also like stargazing too. I could spend hours just doing that as well. Hey, Backcountry Exposure. What's going on, man? Hey, Frozen, glad I made it to this live stream. Can't wait for your AT trip. Thanks, Lucas. Do you listen to any podcasts or mainly audiobooks? They're mainly audiobooks. If I can find a good podcast, I'll definitely try to download it. I was watching Jake Hikes, who's a 2018 thru hiker this year, and he was on Audible and a site called Scribd. I think that's how you say that, at least. Scribd, maybe. And they have, what is it, $8.99 unlimited audiobook downloads, and it looks pretty promising. I might think about getting that, but I think they also have some type of podcast I was seeing. I don't know. I didn't sign up for a free trial yet. I'm going to wait for a little bit. But yeah, if anybody wants to recommend a good podcast, maybe sci-fi, not really, I don't really want to listen to outdoor podcasts while I'm outdoors. I think that would kind of be just overdoing it. I know Gary listens to podcasts. Maybe I should get on with him and see what he listens to. Adam Z, ever think of doing a meetup closer to Eastern PA to meet up with your East Coast followers? Yeah, and we've done one in the past at Raccoon Creek that was pretty successful. I think it was my second year of backpacking, but maybe next year we'll go out a little closer to the East Coast compared to Ohio. I mean, Ohio's pretty close. I would really like to have a meetup at Hanson's Point, but it gets very, very busy. That's in Kentucky. It gets very, very busy there, so I'm not sure how well that would work out. Dolly Sods would be another great place, but there's a lot of camping restrictions there as far as the amount of people you could have at one campsite. So it's been kind of hard finding a place that's big enough. Keep in mind we had 21 people at the last meetup just for Outdoor Adventures. Now, that was at Mohican. And, this time we're going to have people that want to see Outdoor Adventures, people that want to see Tim Watson, all the other YouTubers, Restless Outdoors. Everybody's going to be there. So I can't even imagine how many people are going to be there. Hopefully we don't start breaking any limits, or we're going to have to send people down to some other campsites. But yeah, we'll try it. If anybody has any good, non-restrictive backcountry campsite areas that they can recommend, I'd be all ears. Lucas George. Hey, Scooter. Hey, have you decided between gas stove or alcohol for the AT? I'm still kicking it around, man. I know for a fact that I'm going to start with the BRS titanium canister stove because it's going to be a little bit colder. It just works easier for me in cold weather. Not to saying that the Fancy Feast doesn't work in cold weather, but I really don't want to really warm up my fuel. I'd rather not sleep with it if I can help it. I do have a little, like a 4-ounce little bottle, which I want to keep permethrin in, I think, throughout the whole AT. But yeah, I'm going to stick with a gas stove, at least at the beginning, maybe switch out sometime in Virginia. That's the other permit. Okay, I get it now. I didn't really consider Baxter's Summit permit to be an actual permit because it's kind of like a low-key thing. You can kind of get there, you sign up, okay, then now you're going to summit. You got to kind of do it early to get your summit position because they only allow a certain number of people on Katahdin. But Nazgarath says, does Baxter State Park require a permit for Katahdin? Katahdin is in Baxter State Park, so yes, they do have permits. So that must be the third permit that I've been hearing about. Okay, that makes a whole bunch more sense now. Anyway, we just skipped around again. Oh, let's see. I'm going to search permit here. Okay. And 1, 2, there we go. Okay. Hey, that actually worked out pretty well. Good night, Grumpy. Have a good one. Hope you can keep those 20-mile days up, man. That's awesome. I do live in Moon Township. Google it. Matthew, I won't try to say your last name. I don't want to butcher it. Okay, Long Star Hiking Trail. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Frozen, got to use your discount code on a hammock from Dream Hammock. Thanks for the great intro to hammock videos. You're welcome. Glad I could get that discount for you guys. Hopefully a lot of you were able to use that coupon and it kind of pushed you to get, a Dream Hammock, something that I would recommend for, first hammock, second hammock, whatever. So I was really glad Randy and I talked about that and we kind of worked that out. So I still haven't gotten the final number from him. He did say that there were at least 8 the first week, so that's really good for him and me, I guess. Not that I get any kickback, but it's nice to see products that I'm recommending and then people following the advice, which is awesome. A large sloth. Okay. Did the North Fork to Middle Fork Loop in Cranberry Wilderness last weekend. Water levels were brutal, but enjoyed the hike and gorgeous scenery. Spruce Knob Center Rocks is also up for next weekend. That's awesome. Can you recommend a nice sleeping pad? All right, so I have a NeoAir X-Therm that I absolutely love for colder temperatures. I think it's one of the best. A lot of thru hikers use the X-Lite, which is kind of a thinner, not too much thinner, but a thinner version of the X-Therm. A little less R value, so it's a little less warm. A lot of people have used the, I'm sorry, did I say Z-Lite? I meant X-Lite. Also people use the Z-Lite, which is an accordion style folding sleeping pad. If you're familiar with Syntax 77, he used to use that a lot. I think he's getting back into sleeping on the ground. Last couple of videos at least have been in a tent, minus his Black Forest Trail video, of course. But yeah, those 3 I can recommend. I've laid on all 3 of them. I only have purchased the X-Therm though, so take that information with a grain of salt. Elric Stormbringer. Hello, Frozen. See you this weekend at Mohican. I'm looking forward to it too, man. That's awesome. Can't wait to see everybody. Any experience with the AT in Northeast PA? Charles Johnson asked. Just moved not far from the Fox Gap Trailhead near Bangor, PA. Anything notable worth checking out? I'm not familiar with that area. I was actually going to go, I don't think it's northeast. I think it's just East PA. A little bit outside of Harrisburg, I believe, but I don't have any experience with that. My trip got rained out when I was scheduled to be up there. So anyway, Lucas George, I've been trying out a frameless pack. What is the maximum weight your Nero would handle before it gets uncomfortable? I got a Chinese one since I live in Brazil. US gear is so hard to get, thanks. I've had that sucker up to 25 pounds with no comfort issues, no durability issues, but I have a waist belt on it, which can be removable. It can be easily taken off. They recommend, Z-Packs recommends that you don't fill it up with more than 20 pounds of gear, and I kind of agree with that. At that point, I think you would probably want a waist belt, or a hip belt, I should say. Would you mind covering your camera gear and software used for your videos? Can it be done with a smartphone? Love your vids. So I do have an older electronics video, but most of that gear is still on my gear list. The only thing that has changed from that gear is I'm using a different power bank, just a little bit bigger, and I dropped the Nikon AW110 and I went with a GoPro Hero 5 Black Edition. So it's pretty much the same stuff. I use Adobe Premiere to do my normal edits, but it can be done on a smartphone, and a lot of people do use it. I think a lot of people use iMovie, which has a lot of templates. It's fairly easy to use. I have no experience with it because I'm on Android, which I absolutely love, but I found an app. I found a couple apps actually. I'm still playing with a new app called KindMaster, which is kind of a really, it's a paid subscription. It's like $40 for a year, but it has a lot of options in it. And one of those options that I really like is you're able to adjust the audio gain, which is very helpful because usually with, at least for my phone, the Google Pixel, the audio comes in a little soft at minus 10 dB. You want to be around minus 6 decibels whenever you are actually talking and filming an edit. But there's a cheaper one called Cyberlink Power Director, which is perfectly fine. I have a couple videos on there that I'll be releasing soon. Going back to needing to do 2 videos a week here, I think, to catch up. But it's like, I don't know, I got it for $5 on a Valentine's Day special. I think it's like 10. And the only thing in the free version, the only downside in the free version, I should say, compared to the paid version, is you have a little watermark that just says Cyberlink Power Director. It's a logo watermark. That's it. So yeah, it can all be done. Check that electronics video out. I'll be going in depth about my AT electronics when the time gets closer to February 23rd. Okay, the fabric ripped. I used some crappy trees for 3 nights in a row. Must have had pressure in a bad spot. What fabric did you use? Curious. Interesting. SB Outdoors said the dream hammock for sure. Okay, well, that's interesting. Huh. Rocking the Shug shirt over the Outdoor Adventures shirt. Yeah, I figured since he hurt his hand, well, he didn't hurt his, he did hurt his hand, but he got surgery on it. He's a couple weeks into the surgery, kind of in recovery mode. I figure I'd support the old Shugmeister, so that's why the Shug shirt today. What kind of card do I have? It's a Honda Accord. I don't know why you need to know that. Anyway, Power Director has an awesome mobile app for editing videos and posting as well. Says all things outdoors. So yes. How do you train your feet for longer mileage? About 8 miles and my feet start to hurt. Not bad, but wondering if it's preventable, and I want to try 15 to 20 miles before winter. The way I train my feet is, let's see, going back to the beginning here. That's where I started, around 7, 8 miles on my first couple trips. And then I started saying, okay, well, let's push it to 10 or 12. From 10 or 12, push it to 16, and then after you get to 18, you may as well do 20. I don't recommend anybody do 20 unless they really like hiking, the hiking aspect of backpacking. But things that you can do, if your feet are hurting, it sounds like you might either need arch support or you have too much arch support. There's this thing called plantar fasciitis, which is really, really painful, and I did experience on a lot of my trips a couple years ago before I switched to the Ultra Lone Peaks. Now, I do not use a aftermarket insole in the Lone Peaks just because I found that crappy stock cushiony insole is actually way better for your feet than having a high arch support in something like a Superfeet Green or a Soul's Orange or a Soul's Red, I believe I also tried. And the biggest thing you could do is just, I know this is going to sound really cliche, try lowering your pack weight. The lower your pack weight, the better your feet are going to feel, or should feel, at the end of the day. And I noticed, obviously, as I got down lower and lower, and this is kind of funny, I posted on Facebook on the Outdoor Adventures page a couple days ago that something, the first Laurel Highlands hike that I ever did, when I stepped on the trail, I weighed 42 pounds, okay? Base weight of 25. Now I've gotten, with the Z-Packs Nero, I've gotten down below 9 pounds, and just my feet just are so much more happy. I'm sure I could load my backpack up more, but that's going to cause some more sore feet. So see if you have an insole issue. Try just a flat insole, see if it works. If not, get a low arch support. See how that goes as well. I know Soles, yoursoles.com, have a 30-day trial. I don't know if they still have it. They did last year when I used, last year when I used them. So if you don't like them, if there's too much arch support, you can take them back, swap them out, no questions asked kind of thing. So hopefully that helped answer your questions. You can also walk around outside in your bare feet, obviously, hopefully before winter hits. Toughen them feet up. Really toughen your feet up. Are you going to take a backup video camera? I don't think so. What I am going to do is I'm probably going to keep the Pixel laying around just in case I can maybe get, if I have an issue with the Pixel 3, which is hopefully going to be announced October 8th, so it's coming up. That's the camera that that's the phone that I'm going to film with on the AT. I'm hoping that I can just get this overnighted back to me, and we really won't have any downtime. Maybe take a zero in town while that's going on. So, don't think I'm going to take a backup camera, but never know. I'm still playing around with my electronics for the AT. Backcountry exposure. Are you ever going to make it out west? Maybe join me on a trip here in Utah. I'd love to. Obviously not this year. I actually had to turn down SB Outdoors invitation to go with them on the Colorado Trail, and I was kicking myself after their video. Be sure to check that one out. The reason being is I'm trying to save as much money as humanly possible, and I think I've achieved that this year. I've been really frugal with my my spending habits, not going out to eat a lot, not going out with friends a lot, and just really saving for a very nice through hike, a nice comfortable through hike, even if I need to take my time for an injury. So I would love to come out west, and I'm definitely going to be coming out west in the next couple years. This year, I don't want to say it's been a boring year for me, but I just feel like it has. I wanted to do all these trips, but I had to give and take. Do I buy plane tickets for out west, or do I have a better AT through hike? And I chose the AT through hike just because it means so much to me. But yes, backcountry exposure. I would love to join you out in Utah, and you could kind of show me around. That'd be awesome. MTB hiker. Where is Gary? Are we ever going to see his Katahdin climb? I don't know, man. I hope so. I really do. Anyway, Nick Dean, P.S. Actual question. If using a 10-foot hammock, would you recommend an 11-foot ridgeline tarp, 12-foot ridgeline tarp, or one of those plus doors, thinking of potential future upgrades? I like my 11-foot tarp with doors. I think for a 10-foot hammock, if you don't choose a door option, I think a 12-foot ridgeline is great. However, if you have trees that are a little closer together where you can still hang your hammock, you might have issues hanging the tarp. So tarp length definitely matters. So, it's give and take. I like the 11-foot, and, it weighs less. It's less of a footprint, so to speak. And, it's been working out great for me. Though there might be an issue with the tarp, and I haven't tested it yet, but you'll find out on the Black Forest Trail video tomorrow. Arcana, hey Rick, I'm not answering that question. I've already have a video on it, and you know the story, so quit being a jerk. Jonathan Saylor, can you stealth at Mohican? Not legally. There are places to stealth there. I wouldn't do it. I haven't seen any rangers there either, but I don't know. We have plenty of spots reserved. Their space should not be an issue, so don't really worry about it. If we run out of space, we'll start splitting people up. It's fine. Hazel B. I'm going on my first cold weather trip in the Olympic Mountains, Washington. Do you have any advice on how to stay warm, dry, and have fun? Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously, layering is gonna be your biggest asset to stay warm. Don't rely on just one single piece of gear. Like I'm in some Appalachian Trail through hiker Facebook groups now, and people are asking about, what's the warmest jacket I can wear over top of a t-shirt for the winter? And people are just like, that's not a good idea. And I tend to agree with it. You want to layer as much as possible. I really highly recommend Smart Wool Base Layer 250s. They are so freaking warm. All the Patagonia stuff, though very expensive. I really like the R1. Gary wears the Capilene. To stay dry, just make sure you have like a rain jacket. Some wind/rain pants would be good. In fact, if you look up on Amazon ballerina pants, I forget the actual name of them. I will actually comment on this video after the stream ends to show you what I bought. But I bought a pair of ballerina pants because Gary used them on the AT last year. They're very water resistant, good for the snow, and they're really, really light and compressible. They're almost made of a sil nylon material. So just keep in mind, just layer and have fun. It sounds like an awesome place. No questions, just letting you know I love the channel. Really enjoying the new hammock series. Keep doing you. Thanks, John. Really appreciate that. Hokey, I'm sorry, guys. My eyes are so freaking dry right now. Ugh. Hokey's KRB, didn't you used to have an Enlightened Equipment quilt? Just curious why you went with hammock gear versus EE. I'm looking at both, so wanted to get your thoughts on that. So I sold a lot of gear this year. One of those pieces of gear was my Enlightened Equipment Revelation. Absolutely loved it, but I wanted to get a shorter quilt because when I first got it, I just got it in a regular. I didn't really know much about quilts and how I would be comfortable with them, but I found that I was always folding down about 10 inches or so of that quilt material. So I sold the Enlightened Equipment Revelation quilt actually on backpacking gear. I can't remember the name, Backpacking Gear something on Facebook, and they got a great deal on it. Whoever it was, they got a really good deal on it. And I went with a short hammock gear top quilt. So that's the only reason. The reason why I didn't go back to EE there was actually two reasons. One, hammock gear had a 10% off first time buyers code on their website. So I took advantage of that. And I wanted to try something different because I knew Enlightened Equipment quilts are awesome. I just wanted to try hammock gear, especially with their redesign of, I think it's a burrow. I think the incubator is the underquilt. The redesign of the burrow has horizontal baffles instead of vertical baffles in the foot box. And so I was really curious to how that would work. And so far it's been working out great. So I actually have a 20-degree set now of hammock gear, a 40-degree set of hammock gear, a 0-degree set of Enlightened Equipment quilts, and the Costco quilt plus the 30-degree underquilt. So yes, I have quilts for literally any temperature that anyone could possibly throw at me, plus I can layer the quilts. But as far as the hammock gear and Enlightened Equipment thing, I think they're pretty much the same. I don't have any issues with either one. Though I do like the horizontal baffles a little bit better in the footbox for the hammock gear. Body Barn Strongman. Hello, Jason. Any feedback on trail conditions of the Black Forest? Planning on hiking it for the second time this weekend. My favorite trail to date. Okay, yeah, I actually do. We just went on last weekend, and restless. Sorry, I'm getting ADD moments. We just went last weekend, and the trail was very, very wet. The streams were really high. Don't get me wrong, the trail was dry in the sections that were supposed to be dry, but the stream sections of the trail and up on the top of the, what the heck is it called? The northeastern section of the trail, you're going to experience some big, humongous puddles that you're not going to be able to get around. So just keep that in mind. What's up from upstate New York? Hey, MTB hiker, how you doing? But have fun on the Black Forest Trail. We had a great time. Oh, great. Restless Outdoors is here. Thank you, Matt Bullock. Thank you again for helping me decide on the Z-Packs Arc Haul. How long did it take you to be comfortable with sleeping by yourself on the trail? Probably 3 nights. But you know what? Every year, when I get back into it from winter trips, because I like to go with people on winter trips. It's just, there's too much downtime when you get to camp because it's dark earlier. So I like to take people along for winter trips. But when I get back into it, there's always that first trip where it's like, oh, geez, I'm going to be spending a night alone out here. It's a little scary, but you get over it real quick. Put an audiobook in. It really, really helps ease that anxiety. The more you do it, too, it definitely eases the anxiety. Let's see. David Schmood. I did take the plunge and get myself a Dutch wear Chameleon. Have you or do you know anyone who has used a mummy bag as a top quilt simply by turning it zipper side up? I used to do that before I had the quilts. The only problem with doing that is the hood, because the hood's going to be on the side of your head if you put it, zipper face up. You could just lay in it zipper on the side and just not zip it up, depending if you're using an underquilt or if you're going to throw your sleeping pad in there. So, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Obviously, a quilt's definitely more comfortable in my book, though. Let's see, how are we on time? We're good on time. All right, awesome. Tony Mayfield just got back from a 3-day Red River Gorge trip. Awesome. Hanson's Point was awesome, and I didn't get lost. Even better. Congratulations. Let me just scroll down here. Don't know if anyone does this, says Leonardo. I put fishing line around my campsite, just kind of a hidden, then attach one end to my hammock or tent and attach it to a bell. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that on Reddit, actually. I put honey on my buddy's tent to bear sleep. Restless, you are a freaking trip, dude. My God. I've never done it. I've heard a lot of people do it, though. Is it necessary? Whatever makes you feel safer, though. I don't think it's necessary, but like I said, whatever makes you feel safe, that's the point. Michael Rule, Kilimanjaro is on my bucket list. Have you ever considered hiking out of the country, maybe New Zealand, South America? I'd love to hike New Zealand. Just watching videos of that area, it really makes you want to go on vacation there just for hiking. Just go there and hike. It's definitely on my bucket list. Who knows when, though. Let's get out west in the U.S. first, and then we'll talk about New Zealand. Lucas George, what is the best backpack you recommend that is not by cottage companies? Living abroad in the U.S. makes it harder to get cottage products. Do you still recommend the Exos 48? Any other packs also? Wow, okay. Yeah, I do still recommend the Exos if you're having a hard time. I do find it hard to believe that there's not other cottage vendors outside the U.S. that aren't kind of doing the same thing. I'd be actually curious to know from, our overseas friends in here, if there are any, obviously, what, the cottage vendors overseas look like. Maybe there's something I want to order, who knows. But yeah, Exos 48 I think is a really good pack still. To me, when I put it back on, I still own it, by the way. I actually been trying to sell it, not really aggressively, but I should probably sell that pack. I do find the Arc Haul to be far superior to the Exos as far as comfort goes. But they do have an awesome warranty, so definitely Exos 48. Hey Rick, yeah, I know about the Hang Your Own Hang podcast. I kind of fell out of it a little bit. I don't know where I left off. I think the last guest they had on there was Stormcrow. I've seen Syntax on there too. I can't remember who the last person I watched. I gotta catch up on them. Honeyway versus Spirit. Joe Rogan. Yeah, you know what? I've gotten into Joe Rogan just listening to him at work. He actually, I knew about Joe Rogan's podcast first, but I never really got into him. I actually found a video he did when he interviewed an AT thru hiker, and he did a really, really good job. It was really fun to watch or listen to. So, Really enjoy Joko podcast, first-hand account on various wars and leadership principles within. Interesting, interesting. All right, we're going to scroll down here. A lot of haze. Randy Ward, didn't you plan a second Virginia Triple Crown? That is the McAfee, Knob, Dragon's Tooth, and Tinker Cliff section of the Appalachian Trail. And yes, I just got back from it actually a couple weeks ago. Took a week off and then went to the Black Forest Trail. We were just there for some conditioning. I wanted to show a friend how awesome that part of the trail is. And man, we destroyed the mileage on there. We were raring to go. Trail was beautiful. We did the North Mountain loop back. Again, same exact trip as we did before. Stayed at the exact same campsite the second night. No video, like I said. We were just slamming out some conditioning. So, all things outdoors. Hey Frozen, what is your trekking pole of choice for the AT? By the way, the deer stand can wait. I will see you Saturday. Awesome. So you decided to come. That's awesome. I'm so happy I'll get to meet you. Let's see, trekking pole of choice. I am still using, and not necessarily recommending, the Lecky Carbon TI trekking poles. I really like the trekking pole side of it, but I think the grip is just too big for my tiny hands. Cascade Mountain Tech actually reached out to me a little bit ago on Instagram, a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard anything yet, but they asked me to try out their new version of their carbon poles, which are a real popular seller in the hiking community. So I might give them a try. So I don't know. I'll probably start out with the Leckies anyway. I really don't like the grip on them. I don't know. I really prefer something smaller like the Black Diamond, the blue ones that I was using before, the carbon Distance Z poles. So, but for now, it's going to be the Leckies just because I don't want to spend any more money on trekking poles. We'll let them break first. Mudbone, can you recommend a decent beginner complete hammock system for a tall person that isn't crazy expensive? Hennessy Hammock. I don't know if they sell 11-foot hammocks. It's been a while since I visited them. I know most of their hammocks come with a tarp, which would be everything you need to get yourself started. You may want to swap out the suspension immediately, just because they use a figure-8 knot, I believe, on their suspension. It's kind of annoying to tie. The ropes are also way heavier than they need to be. But check out Hennessy Hammock. I had the Expedition ASIM, loved it. It's similar to a Dream Hammock, but it's a little bit heavier. But for $150 for the Expedition, it's probably a little bit more for an 11-foot if they sell it. Like I said, I'm not sure what their site consists of because I haven't visited them in a while now. But yeah, it should be around a little bit under 180 for, I'd say, probably everything you need, including an upgraded suspension. Let me know if you find something better, though. I'd be interested. Is it time for Outdoor Adventures to buy kayak gear and expand to include your own water treks? I'd love to, but yeah, like Arcana's saying below, why buy when I can borrow? So it's just another expense. Also, I have a car, so I'd have to get some kind of rack for the car, and then I have to lift the kayak. I don't know. I don't think I'd go enough to warrant getting myself a kayak, but I do really love it. I really enjoyed the Clarion River where we were actually pushing miles. I don't know if anybody else did that trip because we did like 28 or something, 25, something the second day, and it was just a blast. I loved it. Hello to everybody saying hello. Danette and Kindle Adventures. What is, Kevin Frye, what is one of the funniest things that happened to you on the trail? We all make some crazy funny mistakes. Let's see, funniest thing that happened to me on the trail. I've had times where I just was so tired that I forgot where I put my food for the day. I usually keep it in like a Ziploc bag at the top of my pack. Sometimes I set it off to the side and just forget about it and take out my food bag. I was like, okay, where's the food for the day? It's not here. Stuff like that. I really can't think of anything too funny that's happened on the trail though. If I'm sure I'll think of something throughout the QA, and I'll just bring it up. Kindle Adventures, what will you be using on the AT? What pack will I be using on the AT? Looking forward to seeing your setup. Will you be going ultralight or perhaps make certain exceptions due to longevity? Okay, so the AT gear list is up. It's not available for everyone yet. I'm still tweaking and still have to weigh certain things. The primary pack that I know for sure that I'm taking on the Appalachian Trail, at least at the start, is going to be the Z-Packs Arc Haul. Hands down. Love the pack. It's going to fit everything I need to fit. I may or may not swap that pack out sometime again in Virginia when I get my alcohol stove, maybe, for the Z-Packs Nero. Z-Packs Nero has been proven to be a very, very good pack. In fact, I only used the Arc Haul, I think, on maybe 1 or 2 trips this whole year. So I probably should make a 2018 gear list video with the Nero in there. But then the topic comes up is I want to carry one pack through the whole AT. So I don't know. As far as going ultralight, I'm pretty close. I'm at like, I think 10.1 pounds. The heaviest I'll be is 12.8, I believe. That's in the winter, or that's in February. I think the lightest I will be is 9.6. I can't remember. I gotta look at my gear list video, or my gear list on the lighter pack. I'm not really trying to go ultralight. I want to bring a 100 or a 20,000 milliamp battery, and that's going to be 8, 9, maybe even 12 ounces by itself. On top of that, contact solution, what's it called? Extra cables for the phone, a charging port for the wall. Certain extra things that I would never bring on like a 2-week, a 1-week, a weekend trip. So barely going to be ultralight, and I may add stuff. What I'm not trying to do is be ultralight just to say, I hiked the AT with an ultralight setup. I really don't care. I don't care that I'm ultralight to begin with for my backpacking trips. I like being ultralight because it feels better on my feet, like we talked about earlier, but I'm not trying to get there. I just take what I need, and that's where I feel the most comfortable. So hopefully that answers your question, Kindle. Green Trail 4052. This is my first time on this live chat, and it's fun. I'm a small section AT hiker. I just want to see your AT videos soon. Love all your videos. Thanks. You are very welcome. Thanks for coming in. I really don't have a question, but really wanted to thank you for your beginner hammock camping videos, especially the one in the rain. Yeah, that was fun to film. I was actually using this for the audio, and I was using the GoPro for the video on that one. It was kind of fun to mix that up. So, all right, so we're getting close to 10 o'clock, so let's do the question power round. Chris, I can't say your name, man. What shoes do you prefer for long hike, trail runners or, I love trail runners. I think the Lone Peaks are going to be my shoe of choice, though I've heard some good things about the Ultra Superiors. Apparently they're a little more rugged, a little more cushiony, but yeah, I love them. And that kind of answers Emma's Saunders question as well. Keep up the great video, Frozen. Night, everyone. Love the Q&A, says Tony. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Are you guys all leaving from the meetup on Sunday? Yeah, probably. I don't know if I'm not going to stay. I'm actually going to go over to Dream Hammock and tour their workshop at the end of the meetup, or on Sunday on our way home, because it's on the way, which is great, because I wanted to see their workshop at the beginning of the year, kind of never got around to scheduling it, and they invited us out, so it's going to be awesome. Anyone's welcome to come and tour. Deanna and Randy are a great set of people. They'll be there at the meetup, so we can definitely tour the workshop after we're all done. Just got back from my first backpacking trip over a month. Trips in the Ozarks. Cool. Amazing time. Thanks for your video inspiration and info and helping me get out there. Awesome, Nasgrath. Apologies if you have, but have you done any trips in New York, New Hampshire, or Maine? Tons of options there. Been to New York. I've done the Cranberry Lake 50, which is a 50-mile loop around Cranberry Lake. I have not been up to New Hampshire, though we were trying this year. It just didn't work out in the cards for me. Driving time is insane to get up there. And it was really hot, and when it wasn't hot, all the AT thru hikers were coming through there. So, yeah. Bigfoot Farmer. Bigfoot Farmer is actually going to be appearing in a video tomorrow on the Black Forest Trail because he's the crazy dude that decided, hey, we should try it in 2 days, 42 miles, 2 days. Awesome trip. His video is up if you want to check him out at Bigfoot Farmer. I need a weekend warrior setup video. Shook shirt, hell yeah. Did you head? Oh, geez, where are we? Holy crap. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna answer his questions as fast as I can. Just want to make sure I get everyone's questions answered. Did you go back and do the Triple Crown like you said you were gonna do? Yes, we did. We did it in the same amount of time. Killed the mileage. It was an awesome time. Perfect weather, and we really had a blast. Hey, just got home from work. What's up, Jason? Thanks. Jason, didn't think about the babbles of the football, so look into that. I appreciate your thoughts on the quilts. My pleasure. See you this weekend at Mohican. Any major changes to your AT trip? No, actually, Emma, I just booked my hotel for the first night for February 22nd. Since I'm going to be driving down with a friend, she's driving my car back. Be staying there the night, kind of resting up real good. Probably won't sleep the whole night because I'll be so excited and anxious to get on the trail. But it's a couple miles away from Springer Mountain, so we'll have a big breakfast, get some good sleep, and head out on the approach trail February 23rd. Yep, still live, still going. Okay, what's a good cheap backpack? Syntax 77 has a really, really good budget backpacking gear list. I'm going to point you to his video. Just search for budget backpacking on Syntax 77's channel. It's like the whole setup, almost everything you need for 250 bucks. It's awesome. Let's see, Patty. I'm jealous. I'll be through hiking the AT in 2022 after I retire. I can't wait to watch your videos. Awesome. Show us all your tattoos. I can't. I'm sure you'll end up seeing most of them on the AT. Thanks for taking the time to answer all our questions. Will you be sporting an IB tat type beard on the AT? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave my head. I just shaved it tonight, so it's going to start like this, and I'm just going to let the hair grow wherever it wants to grow, and we'll see what kind of beard I got at the end. But IB Tat's beard game is way higher than mine. Restless Outdoors. It's cracking me up. Emma, please stop hitting on my bromance. Oh, don't worry, Restless. I love you still. I find that here in Brazil it's difficult to find cottage companies on outdoor equipment. The only brand worth mentioning is Decathlon, but it's more mainstream. Okay, interesting. I'll check that out. Lucas, I've been thinking, once I finish my master's, trying a hand on the sewing machine and make my own stuff. Seriously, we need more people on the sewing machine. I actually need to do it too, because I think I'd have a lot of fun, trying stuff out, but it might start another demon. For tall people, Warbonnet makes a hammock called the Eldorado, built on the XLC platform, but no storage shelf. I'm planning on getting this soon as my first hammock. Yeah, the Eldorado really interests me, actually. I was really hoping that they would have a lower fabric, but 1.6 is as low as they go, and the weight limit on that is that's too high for me. I like something a little softer. Hi, Jason. Hey, Clara. Wanting to switch to tarp with doors. Heavy rain in Florida comes down mostly sideways. Any brand suggestions? Wait a minute. I don't know if UGQ has tarps with doors. Check them out anyway. Warbonnet Superfly. That'll get you plenty of coverage. Obviously, I recommend the Hammock gear quilt too, but those are Dyneema composite fabrics, and they're pretty expensive. Will you do daily vlogs or something different? I'll probably do episodes while I'm out on the trail, just because I don't want to name my videos. If I say I can't do a video every day, I don't want to name it, day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the AT. I'd rather just be like episode 3, episode 4. So we'll do something similar to how Evan, Ivy Tat, I think Liz did it that way. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that have done episodes. Homemade Wanderlust, Darwin, that kind of stuff. But I'm going to do it more consistently. I know they do kind of once a week wrap up of what happened. I'm going to try to do it as real time as possible, at least for the first through hike. Hint, hint. You might have answered this already, but what's your go-to shell? So in the winter, it is the Patagonia Torrent shell. In 3-season weather, it is the Outdoor Research Helium 2. Can you give me feedback on using your MSR wind burner as your primary stove? I don't have a wind burner, but I have a whisper light. I think it's kind of the same thing. Don't quote me on that. It's a heavy stove. I mean, it works like a charm. There's barely any maintenance you need to do with it. I don't think I've maintained that thing in years. And what's funny is the power went out last week, and I really wanted coffee, and I pulled that stove up on my porch while it was raining. I made some boiling water and had some Taster's Choice coffee. So it's still going strong, but I've switched to a lighter stove. It's just heavy. Part-time hiker, I will be going northbound on the AT. Looking forward to your through hike. Me too. I just bought a 21,000 on sale on Amazon. It's big, but was so affordable. I'm actually gonna wait until Anchor releases their new products, which seem to be around December, January. I'm hoping they have some crazy new technology that's gonna be really light and it's gonna work for me. So we'll see. I don't wanna let it go too much longer than January, because like I said, I'm leaving at the end of February. What have you learned from this year's through hikers that you'll do on your trip? I've learned so much from IB Tat. He is one of my absolute favorite vloggers. Not to hit him on, or let's see, not to poke fun at him a little bit. When he finally stopped filming his chin, sorry IB Tat, I just had to get on you about that. But he said, slow down. It's a vacation, and that's the way I'm going to treat it. I'm going to treat it like a vacation. I'm still going to do the miles I want, but I'm going to try to enjoy every single second of it. The goal is not Katahdin. Katahdin is not your goal. That's your end point, but the journey is your goal, and that's how I'm going to look at it. And he was great for doing that and for getting that idea in my head. Thanks for the QA. See you this weekend. I will see you this weekend. Will you jog to help prep, or what cardio? I'm actually going to go into what I'm doing to train for the AT, because I want to show you guys all the crap that I'm doing. I really like the beach body workouts. I'm doing a combination of Insanity, Body Beast, Insanity Asylum, and Asylum 2. And I haven't been able to work out this week. I feel so gross and disgusting right now just because of the ankle injury, which is, like I said, better. It just needs a couple more days. I don't want to put too much stress on it. But I will do a whole video on this. It's just an in-home workout program. I mixed it up. I made it harder than the original. I made it 4 times harder than the original, to be honest. And it's crazy. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Thanks for your awesome content, says Lucas, as always, for being such a helpful person to the outdoor community. It's my pleasure, man. I love you guys. You guys are awesome as well. Always hope I see you sometimes on the LHHT. Just finished sections last summer. That's a good point. I want to do a shakedown hike. Obviously, I would love to do the Superior Hiking Trail again, but what we're going to do is when I get my new phone, I want to carry 8 days of food on the Laurel Highlands Trail and do it down and back. So 140 miles, 8 days, very, very high mileage, very, very rocky terrain. Like I said, 8 days of food, but I want to do the hammock on the way down, and I want to sleep in shelters on the way back. So I'm carrying a little bit extra weight, and I'm also going to be filming that the exact way I would do the AT. So I'm going to keep everything in mind, try to do this trip sometime either at the end of this month, which who knows at this point, or very early November, just to make sure I don't have any problems sleeping on the ground with my quilt, so I can kind of nip them in the butt before I start the AT. Oh yeah, Hammock Gear Journey. I forgot that they released that kind of tarp. UGQ Winter Dream. Yep, all that good stuff. How are you going to deal with all the people on the AT? I like people. I'll probably hike alone unless I meet some really, really awesome people, but I don't mind chilling with people at camp. I really don't. But the one way I'm going to deal with all the people is I am going to start earlier than usual. Most people start, like I said, March 1st. I'm going to start February 23rd. So hopefully that clears me of the beginning bubble, so to speak, is what they call it, the bubble. Check out Dutchware's Xenon Winter Tarp. Yeah, I'm forgetting about all these vendors, man. I've just been focusing on other gear at this point. Later, everyone. Looking forward to meeting at Frozen. See y'all at the meetup. Awesome, awesome. Can't wait. Saw your review about Arc Hall backpack from Z-Packs and found out that I had the same webbing problem. Emailed Z-Packs. They sent me the replacement too. So yeah. There was a bad batch, really bad batch of webbing that they shipped out. And from what I was hearing from Joe Valesco, who's the owner of Z-Packs, they couldn't track the orders because they pull it out of a big bin, and between a certain time frame, 50% were going out with the bad webbing, 50% were going out with the good webbing. So I do think they should have released a little statement about, hey, if you're having problems, email us and we'll get it. Don't let someone like me review it and show that I had to get it. But still, awesome pack, and what they sent me fixed my whole problem completely. Hey Andy, hey, better late than never, right, bro? You can at least watch the archive. I have a Whisper Light from the 80s, still works great. It is heavy. Yeah, the Whisper Light hasn't changed in design for a lot of years, and they're still going. I'd like to hear you drop a swear word or two. I've dropped some swear words. A lot of some people actually say their kids watch. So for my first year of backpacking with the channel, I cut out some swear words. So got to keep it kid friendly. You never know who's watching. You ever watch Nomadic Fanatic on YouTube? No, but I'll check it out. Hey up, Trail. Podcast recommendation, American History Tellers. All right. What camera for the AT next year? So this is the Pixel. I want to get the Pixel 3. Like I said, it's going to be announced October 8th, which is in a couple weeks, and hopefully I'll be on the first bandwagon to get that thing. All right, let's just check to make sure that we don't have any questions here. I think I answered everyone. 12 minutes over, but that's all right. That should work just fine. Podcast, Turncloaks, Dark Fantasy, Tomes of Tentacles, Insanity, so much of it. Okay. Do an underwear review so I know what to get my boyfriend for Christmas. I don't wear underwear anymore. As weird as that sounds, I actually have been going with just shorts and a liner, or just shorts and no liner, and it's been great. I get some crazy chafing with any kind of athletic underwear, and I really don't recommend any that I've tried. The closest ones that I found that are good are the Reebok Active Sport, I believe they are. But other than that, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend really anything. All right, so guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining the question and answer session tonight. It was really, really awesome, and I look forward to doing it this next month. I'm going to hit the hay. I'm getting kind of tired, and my eyes have been super dry all night. But everyone, thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next one.